Hi, and welcome to the first video of the top 10 Illustrator tools a beginner should master. The focus of this series is to get you working in Illustrator a little bit faster by just explaining the top 10 tools on the toolbar you'll probably be using the most. When I first began using Illustrator, I had used Photoshop, so I was somewhat familiar with the different tools on the Illustrator toolbar. Some are the same as the Photoshop toolbar, but many of them are different. So let's get started. First, let's start by opening a new document. Name doesn't matter unless you want to save it. Size doesn't matter. Units, let's just start with inches and make a 10-inch by 10-inch square RGB color. Alright, now by default, Illustrator gives you a white box with a black outline or a stroke. For the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to make a black box. So doing that, we take the black that's on the stroke here and drag it over the white, and it makes it a black fill. And let's go ahead and take the stroke off by clicking on this red dash down here. Alright, let's get rid of our colors there. Now, to show what the selection tool can do, which is our first focus in this series, we have to actually use the rectangle tool, which we'll talk about a couple tutorials later. And it's pretty simple to do, but we have to use it to show what the selection tool can do. Alright, so now we got a black box here, and the main function of the selection tool is to move objects, or black rectangle, around the stage. And its other function is to scale an object. And to do that, you drag the tool over these white boxes here, and you see two little arrows that pop up. And basically that's to make it smaller or bigger or thinner or wider. Or you can drag the corners and scale it however you want. Now let's say you want to keep these proportions and you don't want it to become skewed, so we go to one of our corners or any of these white squares, and whenever the double arrows pop up, hold down your shift key and drag it to whatever size you want, and it keeps its proportions. And that's pretty much the function of the select tool. Next tutorial we'll be discussing the direct selection tool.